This program is presented by the Associated General Contractors of America.
This video is about football and job site inspection. Okay, I can hear you saying, look, pal, work is work and football is football, so don't mix work with pleasure. Well, you're right. There's no place for games on the job. But just like football, success on the field comes from having an injury-free team. So, how does a job site inspection help prevent on-the-job injuries? Take college ball. The NCAA makes rules that govern how football is played to make sure the game is fair and to prevent injuries. In our case, OSHA makes the rules. And those rules are in place to avoid accidents on the job. A job site inspection is your way of keeping score to make sure those standards are followed. You know, there's no trophy or million-dollar bonus when we complete a job. There's no headlines or applause from the crowd. But when we follow safety standards, everybody wins. The employees are safe, the work is completed efficiently, costs are under control. Working safely benefits the whole team. So, who's in charge of making all this happen? Who's the coach? Well, it usually comes down to the supervisor. Guys like you and me. The responsibility for job site inspection falls into our lap, along with all the other headaches of the job. It's just one more thing eating into our time, right? Wrong. A job site inspection is going to save you time. It helps you anticipate. It helps prevent problems before they start. It helps the job run smoothly. It's the only way you can be sure that everything else falls into place.
Every coach has a game plan to help them score touchdowns. I'm going to help you create a game plan of your own by showing you how to complete a thorough job site inspection. Starting right now, we're all in training.
Like every sport, football has preseason training to get everyone in shape for the games ahead. In construction, we have our own preseason, and it starts with the bid. From the very beginning, every project must be thoroughly evaluated for potential safety hazards. Hazards cause accidents, accidents cost money. By anticipating problems and hazards in the bidding stage, we can prevent them by budgeting for prevention. No one wants to work on a job that's full of surprises, especially dangerous ones. Next, the job should be designed for safety. Proper equipment should be requisitioned. Safety control systems should be in place, and employees should be trained in proper safety procedures before any work begins. With all of these preseason steps in place, a daily job site inspection should go pretty easily. The systems should already be in place. Your inspection should make sure that OSHA regulations are being followed, safety controls are being used, and any changing conditions on the job site are evaluated and prevention measures are taken. That's just the preseason. We still don't know the whole game plan. How do we accomplish all these goals? The best way to learn is with a scrimmage. Let's go. The game plan I use is called inspect. Each of the letters in the word inspect helps remind me of important parts of job site inspections.
Let's start with the letter I. I stands for identify. It's like the I formation in football. The I formation gives the running back time to identify the holes in the defense. As a supervisor, the number one priority with a job site inspection is to spot the potential problems. That means when you're in the I formation, your job is to identify hazards. The best way to thoroughly identify hazards is with a checklist. A checklist helps you make sure you've covered everything on the site, and it gives you a record of any action necessary to correct a problem. The AGC has a checklist you can use, or you can create one of your own that can apply to the specific job you're on. No matter what you use, The checklist should be comprehensive, covering at a minimum personal protective equipment and first aid. Are proper respirators available to those who need them? Are first aid kits clearly marked and easily accessible? Tools and equipment. Are tools in proper working order? Are people using the right tool for the job? Is equipment running smoothly or in need of repairs? Fall protection methods. Is fall protection equipment in use? Is it properly set up? Protective devices and signs. Are welders surrounded by a curtain to protect others? Are fire extinguishers clearly marked? Are signs easy to read and warnings clear? Chemical and toxic hazards. Are chemical hazards clearly labeled? Are chemicals and toxins stored properly? Electrical concerns. Are cords safe and free from damage or fraying? Are cords kept off the floor? Is there proper lighting? Is temporary electricity safely installed? OSHA requirements. Are OSHA requirements being met in all areas? If they aren't, what must be done to meet the standards? When can compliance be completed? The checklist is an important part of the inspect system. It helps you identify potential hazards and problems and keep track of schedules for repairs and changes. The N in inspect stands for neutralize, like a nose tackle in football. The nose tackle's job is to neutralize the offense. It's a tough defensive position. Every supervisor has to have a tough defense too, and that means the ability to nose out trouble. It's almost a sixth sense, the ability to find potential hazards and neutralize them before they become a problem.
For example, take a look at that scaffold. There's no guardrail. A daily job site inspection would have caught this hazard in time. By adding a guardrail and fully planking or requiring that a personal fall protection system be used before work begins, will neutralize the problem and save an employee from injury.
That leads us to the next part of the inspect system, S. S is for safety. In football, the safety always heads directly to where the action is and knows at a glance how to respond to the changing conditions on the field. Job site safety requires the same kind of commitment and decisive action because the job site is constantly changing. As you go through your inspection, be on the lookout for hazards others may not see. Are tools laying around causing a potential trip hazard? Are floor openings uncovered so a potential fall could occur? Is an employee acting out of character? Could the cause be substance abuse? These potential hazards can be eliminated if you train yourself to observe and respond to situations on the job site that threaten safety.
Every coach has a game plan. We need one too. That's the P in inspect. Plan. Your checklist can help you plan. You can prioritize and schedule repairs. What needs to be fixed or replaced now, what will need to be fixed later, and when you should follow up to make sure action has been taken. You can plan your strategy just like a coach does. You won't be caught off guard or short of equipment or supplies because you'll know in advance when equipment is due for repair or should be retired from service.
Every player on the football team has to learn a playbook. They have to know how to work together, and the coach educates them in his style of play. For example, tight ends are some of the most versatile players on the team. They block, they catch passes, they run the ball. They do it all, just like your employees. Which brings us to the E in inspect. Educate the employees. As a coach on a team, you must train your players on the basics. You can't expect a safe work site if employees haven't been educated in the proper safety techniques. Like any coach, you set the tone for the game. If safety is your priority, let the employees know it.
The C in inspect can cover a lot of things. In football, the key to touchdowns is ball control, and control is also the key to safety. The checklist can help you control hazards by allowing you to be thorough and complete in your inspections. It can also help you evaluate the changing conditions on the job site. For example, weather can pose a variety of hazards, and it can change at a moment's notice. Employees need to know how to work safely when it's windy, or icy, or rainy. how to protect themselves when it's hot or extremely cold. You can't control the weather, but you can control work habits and make sure people are working safely in changing conditions. This brings us to the last letter of the inspect system, T. T is for teamwork, which is an important aspect of both football squads and construction crews. One man can't carry a whole football team to victory. He can't possibly be everywhere playing all the positions.
Hi, Ryan.
It's the same with safety on the job site. As supervisors, we can be leaders and set examples, but we can't be everywhere at once. A daily job site inspection goes a long way toward making the site safe, but it can't do everything. Everybody has to work together to be accident and injury-free. Safety takes a team effort. That means employees inspect tools before they use them. Keep pathways clear to avoid trips. Use personal protective equipment properly. If everybody works together, it's a lot easier to comply with safety regulations.
That's the inspect system. It gives me a thorough and fairly easy game plan for conducting daily job site inspections. I know it's tough when you've got all the other demands of the job too, but it's a good way to prevent some problems from starting.
Remember the game plan. First, identify. Put yourself in that I formation. Just as the running back looks for holes in the defense, you look for lapses in safe work practices. Use a checklist to help you maintain a thorough record of areas that need to be checked, equipment that needs repair or replacement, situations that require special attention or equipment. The checklist can help you make sure that OSHA requirements are being met. Second, neutralize. Take a strong defensive position. Train yourself so that the ability to spot potential hazards becomes second nature, no matter what you're doing. Third, think safety. A safety in football heads right for the action and responds to changing conditions. Your commitment to safety and following through on that commitment will inspire employees to follow your example. Fourth, plan. You can't accomplish goals without a plan. The daily job site inspection should be one part of an overall safety program designed to keep the job site accident and injury-free. Fifth, educate. Make sure all employees are properly trained on the equipment they use and in all safety procedures. Make training a part of new employee orientation. Sixth, control. Success in football is the result of ball control. Success in the area of safety depends on job site control. Take control of changing conditions on the job site. Even things that seem out of our hands, like the weather, can be controlled through awareness and training. Finally, teamwork. Safety on the job site requires a team effort. Even the most thorough job site inspection can't cover the changing conditions on a site. The employees are the starting lineup, and they're most likely to spot a potential problem.
So that's the whole ball game. You've learned the game plan, and we've had a little job site scrimmage. Now you're ready for the season. Don't be scrambling when it comes to job site inspection. Follow the game plan, and you'll be a winner every time.
The 30 goes to the far side, and a Jersey tackle doesn't get him. He's open down to the 20, the 15, the 10, the 5. He is in for a touchdown on a run of 54 yards.